game, and I think they win. Packers are undefeated. They've lost 4 or 5 straight.
I'm not on the Kirk Cousins bandwagon. I was just bringing up a
I
point to
know.
Dylan.
I'm just
Is
trying to
should they
say,
hang on to Kirk Cousins for like fantasy and stuff? But no, I fully agree with you. Kirk Cousins comes in stretches. He's never one game in, does amazing, one game out, does horrible. It's games 2 of 3 in stretches. I mean, he did that
next
in
up,
week
because I'm
one
not going
to
to
week
waste
three,
too
week
much
four.
time with him. I just want to say don't drink the Kool-Aid with him. Next up, the Patriots defense. Can we stop? Can we stop?
I knew this was going to come up.
They have played no premier quarterbacks, no premier teams. They've played the Jets twice. They've played the Miami giving away games. That's 3 of their 7. They have played no premier quarterbacks. They have played no veteran quarterbacks. Do not give me, oh, they've turned the ball over more and more. Stop. They've got a mamby-pamby schedule. We all said this was just sickening setup for them to be in the playoffs right away. They're doing what we expected them to do, but you know what's really going to happen to them is they're going to be lulled in this false security of all this greatness, and they will have never been tested. And you know what the worst thing for a football team is? The 2011
Tell me what
Green
it
Bay
is.
Packers. False sense of unstoppableness. That's what these Patriots are getting right now, and nobody wants to talk about it. Look, I'm not going to take away that they've, like, the funniest argument that I got, and I respect these guys a lot, but sometimes even we all do this. Even me and Dave do it. We all do it. So it's not like it's not. I'm just pointing it out for the sake of it. But Peter Schrager, they've played 7 professional football teams, making millions of dollars, full of players that are top 5 picks, and beat them all. Yeah, well, context still matters. Just like that Eagles game at the end of the year is going to look a lot much different in context of the entire season because it's about when you play somebody, sometimes more about who you play. And the Eagles happened to get the Packers in their final preseason game with some injuries and some problems that they got to win on them.
Refs kind of went away towards the Philly side, but no one seems to want to mention that game, but brings up the Detroit game.
Right.
They never want to
So,
bring up the one
they've been
where
terrible across the board.
the
I'm
final
just done
play
talking
at
about
the
refs
end
in
zone.
any
Yeah.
game that's specifically
Yeah.
trying to target one game for one reason from any fan base, period. I'm talking to all the fan bases out there.
I know.
Shut the hell up about the refs. Every fan base, every team on the field is dealing with the same incoherent, inconsistent, ununderstandable bullshit from referees. Okay? And so I'm just sick of all the fan bases whining when their team gets screwed. Because throughout a game, the other team gets screwed too. And there's other games going on that you're not watching where these fan bases' teams are getting screwed. And the week before, the opposite fan base got screwed. It's happening all across the league. Fans. It just is. You're not the only ones. That argument's getting very sickening to hear too, just overall on Twitter, period. Oh, our fan base is the only one. Every week we get screwed. Nope. Rabbit hole. Anyway, the Patriots, though, guys, they're getting lulled into a false sense of, and they're eating it up. And when they get
The
tested,
next
it probably
6,
will
7
be in the
games looks
Super
good,
Bowl
too.
because of what's going on with the injuries across there. And let's be clear about this. The AFC's a freaking powder puff conference. There ain't nothing there. All the power and all the power teams are all in the NFC.
Yeah, man. You look at it, Saints, Packers, 49ers, Vikings, Panthers. I mean, you can go on. There's teams for days, even at average, that are going to be above
Well, you can even
majority
throw the
of
Cowboys
AFC
and the
teams.
Eagles in there, even though they're not doing that great. But, I mean, they have the ability to turn around with their rosters and play better football
Agreed.
than what they've played. compared to what you would think is capable for most of the AFC.
Oh, I'll definitely agree with that. I mean, the NFC is deep, folks, really deep on on teams. Each division. I mean, look at the NFC North, NFC West, right there. NFC North, you have the Bears, who are average right now, but they're still a tough team to play because of that defense. And then you also have the Vikings, that tough defense. Their offense is on a streak right now. It'll probably end soon, but it's still rolling. Packers are probably the most complete team, along with 49ers and Saints in the whole conference.
And don't we
Those
play the
three
49ers
teams,
and Saints yet this year?
that's going to the Saints, no. 49ers is
Yes.
going to be
Yeah, that's after
playoff
the
seeding
bye.
game to me.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
play the 49ers in San Fran,
San Fran.
where that is 30 miles south of Chico, California, where our quarterback grew up, and a place where he's comfortable, familiar, feels at home. Coming off a bye week. Like, for what we, okay, let's put it like this. For what we thought that game was going to be preseason or schedule time to what it's now, the bye couldn't have come any better. That, as far as the NFC right now, the way it's shaping up, that's going to be one of the toughest tests. And to have that ability to come off a bye week, and also
We didn't even
when
mention
it,
Seattle. Seattle's another one.
well, Seattle is, but here, you know what the problem is with Seattle is I feel like we have their number, like we have Dallas's number. I just do.
Not at Seattle. At Green Bay we do. Not at Seattle.
Oh, that demon. You know why we never had it? Because the defense always failed them at Seattle. We have a defense right now that can
I
do
understand
their
we do,
job
but
to go in
I
Seattle.
still got to see it at Seattle. That's
Okay,
the thing. If
I,
we had to,
but I have faith, though, where in past years I don't. That could be an L, because that falls in that timetable that I was talking about, right, Dave? So
they just got a trade today too. Quandre Diggs, who's
Yeah,
a really
I know.
good safety for the Lions, got traded to Seattle Seahawks for
who they needed some
a fifth
secondary
rounder.
help, so that's a big deal for them. He's a good safety.
that.
He's going to help them
And
out a lot. He will help
Now
them.
you
I was
got
not
now,
helping.
now you got Diggs behind Wagner. Yeah, they got some people out there that are already in position. They just needed a safety. Thomas and Chancellor left in the same season. Chancellor was forced to retire. Thomas left. They had their secondary just completely obliterated. So Diggs is going to be a definite boost there. He can play. I have no problem admitting that. I even said that to Julius on our roundtable. Diggs is one of the few people that on that Detroit defense that definitely stepped up.
He was
So,
he was a playmaker.
I mean,
he was a
that-
gamer. I'm
Well, that's
glad
a
to see
biggie
that he's
because
gone
now-
from the division, but we still have to play him again regardless anyway. So we're playing him twice this year anyway.
We don't play Seattle this year.
I thought we played Seattle this year.
Mm-hmm. We do not. I believe the schedule goes: we play
oh, no,
Kansas
we
City,
don't.
Los Angeles, Carolina, San Fran, Giants, and then it's the back three stretch with
The Lions,
Chicago, Minnesota, and
Vikings.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't play Seattle. This is
That's right.
one of the first years in a long time we
I'm
have
so
don't play
used to
Atlanta
playing
or Seattle.
them. We played Dallas a lot instead. That's right. That's been the. Sorry, I'm used to playing
No, you're
Seattle
okay.
every year.
I'm here to keep you on your toes.
All right. Well, you know what though? No, we're done with that. I want to get to this other crap that you're talking about this trade stuff, this Twitter digging you were into, this breaking news possibly. Is it a break? Should I hit the breaking news sounder for this?
No, it's not breaking news.
No.
It's just rumors and hearsay right now. But I have
Then
been
I'll hit
in
the hype
talks-
horn.
Huh?
I'll hit the hype horn. Not
What?
breaking. The hype horn sounder. We can't
No,
hear it,
no,
okay, but the people listening can.
I couldn't hear what you said. That my bad. No. So
The pipe
this
corn.
isn't breaking news, folks. This is just hearsay. But I have been talking to multiple insiders on this. And for one, I know the Packers right now have been in talks with Tennessee Titans, and it's for a wide receiver. I don't know which one, but think of the wide receivers they have. They have Adam Humphries, they have Corey Davis, they have A.J. Brown, and I even asked, was it a prominence or was it lower end? And they even said, no, it's a name they're trying to pull of one of the starting lineups. So there's that. Cincinnati for A.J. Green. and the last one is for Miami for Devontae Parker. But I don't think Gutekunst does it. I understand we're in talks, Jay, but I don't think we do it because Patriots set the tone with that second rounder steep hill price. It's like that kind of set that standard.
I
And then
would
you
say
have
if they can pull one of the Tennessee guys, they would throw a player and a thirder out there to match that second. I don't think they'll throw a second, like
but
you
if you
said.
think about it, they don't.
They don't need it, but here's the thing. I think because you have Seattle making moves, I think now that San Francisco picks up a
Niners
guy,
made a move.
I think that it's one of those things kind of like when the Rams did it and then other teams kind of tried to do requisite things. I think they're going to push this to the trade deadline. And I don't
It's still
think
another week, folks.
right.
People are getting
So,
way too worked up on
right.
this on Twitter.
I think Gutekunst again. This is what I love about him. I don't. It's our first and second round pick, regardless of where we're picking. To me, is too important for any trade, even if you're going to get a Corey Davis or an AJ Brown. Who AJ Brown's a rookie. Corey Davis is in his second year, right, or third year. So
Corey Davis is in his second year. He was a rookie last year.
yeah. So I mean, even
Very
with
talented
that,
wide receiver out of Western
and
Michigan.
I would say that's probably who he's trying to get because they're on rookie contracts. And Corey Davis, you'd have a fifth-year option, so you essentially have him for 4 more years if you want it. But again, I think why it gets pushed is because he's going to do whatever he can to try to keep those first and second round picks. And I agree with him there.
Yeah,
Because
Patriots overpaid, but they set that standard.
he was
Sanders
too
went for a
old to
third
give
and
up.
fourth.
If Sanu was 27, I would say that was an okay. But he's
I
30.
agree. If they're younger, yes, he's worth a second. But they're not. Sanders and
30.
Sanu are up there in age,
Yep.
and
A third and a
Webb
fourth
seems
and getting a
don't-
fifth and Sanders back seems steep.
A lot of people say, "Oh, Larry Fitzgerald." Larry Fitzgerald is a one of a kind, folks. He's the ageless one. That guy will probably play for another 2 more years and still produce at a high level, still catch everything that comes his way. So you can't sit there and compare to Larry Fitzgerald. A lot of wide receivers' careers end 32 to 34 years old, and then it's done. That's the age group. I mean, Jordy even called it himself. He said when he was 32, "I'm only going to be playing 2 more years." He retired at age 34. So-
Here's the deal, too. Receivers don't play that old like the T.O.s and Donald Drivers because they're making much more. There is no reason for a receiver anymore, really, to keep playing when they're going to keep getting pushed down the depth chart to like a Larry Fitzgerald role. Because let's be honest, the reason Larry Fitzgerald can still play and be it is because he's egoless. Most guys that start off with his talent at this point are going to walk away because they're not going to take that third receiver possession role, and it's not worth it to them because they're in a more of a teaching role. You got to think of all the guys Larry Fitzgerald is mentoring and all the time he's spending doing that, and still not winning with no chance of really winning a ring and still doing it. That's why guys don't do that. It's the attitudes as receivers is much different. And the money there is much different now. It's no need to keep playing and pushing. It's just different.
Now, I've also seen Robbie Anderson up on trade blocks too recently. About 6-7 hours ago, I
He
saw
just
the
hasn't.
Jets.
You know what? I would rather have Davis or Brown because he had that one kind of
I'd rather take
6-game
Parker.
stretch. You know what I mean? Like Robbie Anderson really made his name off a 6-game stretch, and what has he really done since then?
No, I mean I hear you, but you got to realize the stuff he's played with too. I mean, Darnold is inconsistent.
And you know what else we brought up the other day is I'm excited the more I think about Ryan Grant. I really am. I think
he's been in the offense before.
I
He's
think
produced in
Ryan
the slot.
Grant, the more I think about him, and they have time to bring him along and get him comfortable on the practice field with Rodgers before they really ask him to get into a game. And I think if he can gain Rodgers' trust on the practice field, he's got a skill set that's much different than the rest of the receiving core. And Rodgers
He's a pure
can
slot wide
utilize it.
receiver.
Yeah, and something Rodgers can utilize.